Our hero, Yuki, reincarnates in another world after kicking the bucket, returning as a demon general. But our hero is even stronger than the demon lord. 1,000 times stronger, in fact. However, just look at our hero's antics. Despite being a demon general, he completely falls head over heels in love with the priestess of the hero's party, driving him wild and crazy with affection. But will that priestess ever fall in love with a demon like him? Let's find out. The story begins by introducing the hero's party, who have finally reached the demon castle to defeat the demon king. They are all completely confident that they're going to beat the demon lord. But as soon as they step inside the castle, they run into a demon general who says, "You won't reach the demon king without defeating me first." Now the hero's party members launch an attack on the demon general, but his attacks don't even scratch him. So the main hero uses his sword, Excalibur, to unleash his most powerful attack. But that demon general counterattacks and absolutely wrecks them all, leaving the entire hero's party knocked out cold. Right at that moment, the demon general's eyes land on the hero's party's healer, and he thinks to himself, "Man, the Almighty must have taken his sweet time creating her." He is just standing there admiring her beauty when his comrades show up and ask, "Why are you staring at that girl like that?" He replies, "I'm just thinking about what punishment to give them," and eventually decides to let them all go. 1 month later, our demon general Yuki is summoned before the demon lord because the hero's party has made 13 failed attempts to defeat Yuki. This hero's party turned out to be totally weak and shameless. When Yuki is asked why on earth he isn't killing these heroes, he's warned that if he messes up again, the demon lord will send someone else to wipe them out. So, Yuki steps up and says, "No, Demon King, I'll be the one to kill those heroes." After this, we learn that this hero's party is actually strong enough to defeat the Demon King. Just not Yuki, because Yuki is an overpowered character who was transported from another world. In the next scene, the hero's party shows up again to defeat Yuki, but Yuki easily wipes the floor with the guys in the party. Next, Makina attacks Yuki, but her strikes do nothing to him. Meanwhile, Celicia heals the hero and the swordsman. After that, the hero Yuka rushes at Yuki and unleashes his most powerful attack. But even that badass attack doesn't faze Yuki at all. So Yuki tells them, "If you leave this priestess with me, I'll let you guys go ahead to defeat the demon lord." Makina suggests that they should accept this deal because they'll never be able to beat him anyway. When Yuka refuses to do it, Makina fires back. Saving the entire world is more important than saving one priestess. The very next second, Celicia says, "I'll stay right here. You guys go on ahead." Reluctantly, the hero has to leave the priestess behind and move forward. Once they're gone, Celicia says, "I'm not strong enough to beat you, but I will hold you back until my dying breath." She attacks Yuki, but it doesn't do a thing. Then Yuki says, "Look, I don't want to fight you. I just want to tell you that I love you. So please, will you go out on a date with me?" Celicia turns Yuki down, leaving poor Yuki completely heartbroken. After that, he says, "I don't want to harm humans." Celicia calls him out, "You're lying, because all demons want to wipe out humanity." So Yuki explains that even though he looks like a demon, he is actually a human who reincarnated into this world from another realm. He adds that he could easily defeat the Demon King, but if he did that, the other demons would just make him the next demon lord. That's why he just quietly stays all by himself in the castle. But into that dry, boring life of his came Celicia, blooming like a bunch of spring flowers. Because of that, Yuki actually started enjoying life. Hearing all this, Celicia says, "You are way too strong. You should use this power to help others. It's not too late. You can come with me to the outside world." Next, we are shown the Kingdom of Clarinus, where celebrations are in full swing because the hero's party has defeated the Demon King, the very demon lord who had brought destruction all over the world. The king declares, "Rejoice and celebrate. The festivities will go on for the next 3 days because the hero's party has defeated the demon lord." Outside the kingdom, we see Yuki getting ready to start a fresh new chapter, and with that, he shatters his own horn. Following this, a victory parade for the heroes is held across the entire kingdom. Meanwhile, we see Yuki arriving at the Adventurers Guild to register himself as an adventurer, but the receptionist looks completely miserable, like he hates his job. After filling out his info, Yuki gets his guild card, starting his journey at F rank, with S rank being the highest. The receptionist hands it over and says, "Here's your guild card. Don't lose it because getting a replacement is absolute hell. By the way, the name's Cramion. Best of luck on your new journey." That night, we see Yuki in an inn room where he's earned a decent amount of money working all day. As his rank goes up, his earnings will too. After that, he plans to confess his love to Celicia once again because he's determined to make her his, even if he has to move heaven and earth to do it. A short time later, Yuki goes to the Adventurers Guild and accepts a few missions. Cramion gets annoyed and snaps. "Why do you always come to me, you jerk? Don't you see that girl over there? And tell me something, who the heck are you really? Going from F rank to E rank takes a whole month, but you hit D rank in just 1 week." Right in the middle of this chat, A young lady walks into the guild, and we see it's none of other than Celicia, who has come to talk to Yuki. She invites him over to her place. Oh la la. When Celicia brings Yuki to her huge mansion, a guard sees him stepping out of the carriage and barks, "Who the hell are you? And what were you doing in Lady Celicia's carriage?" Just then, Celicia walks up and says, "Have you lost your mind? He's my friend." Later, we see the two of them sitting together. Yuki says, "I'm amazed you managed to find me in such a huge kingdom." Celicia explains that finding Yuki wasn't that hard because rumors have been flying everywhere about an adventurer skyrocketing through the ranks. Celicia then tells him, "I want you to quit the Adventurers Guild." She goes on to explain that even though the hero defeated the Demon Lord, the threat isn't over yet because other demons and monsters are still roaming around. On top of that, the hero is getting tons of marriage proposals. Whichever country's princess the hero marries will automatically grow in power, so all the nations are pulling out all the stops to boost their own strength. Since Yuki is rising through the ranks so fast, he'll reach S rank in no time. Once that news spreads, other nations might try to use Yuki as a tool to increase their power. That's why Celicia wants Yuki to stay out of the spotlight for a while. Yuki replies, "But hey, if I don't work, how am I going to pay my bills?" Celicia offers, "If you want, you can work for me. I can't pay you a fortune, but I can give you enough to cover your expenses." Yuki blurts out, "You don't need to plead with me like that, because come hell or high water, I won't even glance at another girl. I only love you." Yuki gets a bit carried away and says too much, but Celicia just giggles. After that, Yuki meets Celicia's mother, Lady Celia, who apologizes for the rudeness of her guard earlier. Sipping his tea, Yuki says, "Don't worry about it." To talk business, Lady Celia kicks her maid, Sophia, out of the room. Then she tells Yuki that Celicia is getting a mountain of marriage proposals, including one that came directly from the hero himself. Hearing this makes Yuki furious. He can get any girl he wants. Why is he eyeing my love? What a total loser. But Celicia reveals that she has turned down all the marriage proposals, including the hero's. Lady Celia then says, "It looks like you really love my daughter. So would you like to marry her? Give me a yes or no." Yuki replies, "I'm really sorry, but I already confessed my love to Lady Celicia and she turned me down. But I'm working hard to improve myself so I can become worthy of her." Hearing that, Lady Celia says, "You passed my test. I wouldn't just let anyone marry my daughter. I was testing you." As she walks away, she adds, "Your name is Yuki, right? You'll have to work hard to prove yourself worthy of my daughter." In the next scene, Celicia says, "My mom must really like you." Yuki asks, "Can I call you by your first name if you don't mind?" She smiles. "Yeah, you can, and I'll call you Yuki too." Yuki is over the moon with happiness. The next scene takes us to a forest where we see Yuki fighting a weird, superpowered chicken monster. Yuki zaps it with Thunderwave and finishes it off. Guys, Yuki was on a mission to collect feathers from this chicken. But suddenly, secret attacks start raining down on him. It turns out these attackers are Yuki's own demon subordinates. They attacked him because they thought he was just an adventurer wiping out demons. The three of them ask, "Captain, where have you been all this time? And what happened to your horn?" Yuki fills them in on everything. How he proposed to Celicia, got rejected, became an adventurer, and is now living among humans as a human. The three demons decide to stick with Yuki. They want to meet the girl who won Yuki's heart, and figure that if Yuki can live like a human, they can too. In the next scene, we see that Yuki used up Happiness's feathers to turn them human, and Celicia is super pissed at him about it. After meeting Celicia, the three demons realize she's a really nice girl, and they all sit down to chat. Duke tells Celicia that at first he didn't like the captain because Yuki used to just sit alone in a room all day, flat out refusing orders from superiors to kill humans. Duke hated that attitude and went to give him a piece of his mind, but Yuki beat him up instead. Now though, Duke respects him a huge amount. They suddenly notice that Happiness and Shiki are missing and start looking for them. They find Shiki fast asleep with his head resting right in Lady Celia's lap. Yuki rushes over and says, "He's my friend. I hope he didn't cause you any trouble." She replies, "Not at all. He's a very good boy." However, they soon find out that Sophia took Happiness with her. We see Sophia dressed in a maid uniform, while the three demons rush over and insist that Happiness is Yuki's friend, not a maid. But Happiness speaks up, saying she actually wants to stay here and work as a maid. So Sophia officially hires her as a maid, meaning Happiness will be living right in the mansion with everyone else. Lady Celia tells Yuki that being in the hero's party leaves Celicia with very little downtime, so she's given her tomorrow off. "How about you take her out somewhere for the day?" The next day, we see Yuki waiting for Celicia. She arrives in a horse-drawn carriage wearing a gorgeous dress, having disguised herself so no one will recognize her. Yuki says, "I'll do my absolute best to make sure you have an amazing day today." While walking around, Celicia spots a cake shop and says, We'll come back here for tea later. They admire a flower shop together, and Yuki finds it super cute the way Silesia pets a stray cat. She even pops into a clothing store to try on a new dress. As they wander around, they reach an accessory shop, only to run into a disguised Yuka and Makina. Yuka calls out, "Hey, why don't you guys join us? We came to town to hang out too." But Silesia says no, explaining she came with a friend. Yuka insists, "Hey, no problem, he can come with us," and drags Silesia along with them. Meanwhile, Makina sticks close to Yuki because she secretly wants Yuki and Silesia to hook up, since she's got her own eyes on Yuka. Yuki thinks to himself, Silesia turned down Yuka's proposal, yet he's still trying? Inside the accessory shop, Yuki says, "Hey, how about I buy you a gift today?" But as soon as Yuka sees them together, he butts in and says, "I was thinking of buying something for Makina and Silesia too." Yuki finds a really nice necklace that Silesia actually likes, but Yuka buys the most expensive thing in the store to show off. In his haste, he accidentally knocks off Silesia's hat, blowing their cover and revealing the heroes' party. A huge crowd gathers around them, shoving Yuki aside as they swarm the heroes. While looking for Silesia later, Yuki spots a guy surrounded by a bunch of girls. It's the former swordsman of the heroes' party, Raven, who is now a knight captain. Seeing him in trouble, Yuki rescues him. "Hey, look, it's Hero Yuka over there." Hearing that, the girls panic and scatter. Yuki takes Raven to a safe spot, but as he tries to leave, Raven stops him. We discover that Raven has a high-pitched, girlish voice, which makes him super self-conscious. Yuki reassures him, "Not everyone is perfect. Everyone has flaws." Raven is touched that Yuki understood him instead of making fun of him. Hesitantly, he asks, "Can you be my friend? You don't have to if you don't want to." Yuki smiles. "Why not? My name's Yuki." Right after introducing himself, he remembers he's supposed to be looking for Silesia. So he bolts, shouting, "I'll catch up with you later." Elsewhere, Silesia is searching for Yuki when she spots a little kid who got separated from his mother. Silesia tries to comfort him, but he just keeps wailing. Right then, our hero Yuki makes a grand entrance, literally like a hero. But Silesia immediately starts scolding him. "Where on earth did you run off to?